This is one of those stories where the powers that be, when they told me I was going to do this story, it didn't take long for me to say yes, because if you know me, I love food. But we got a behind-the-scenes look at how the infamous pancake and baked goods mixes are made, and also talk about the company's future, which doesn't necessarily include pancakes. It's been said that to know where you're going, you need to know where you've been.
Krusteaz came from easy-to-prepare pie crust. Easy-to-prepare pie crust, Krusteaz.
The Krusteaz brand goes back to 1932 when a group of women from a Seattle bridge club came up with that easy-to-make pie crust. But it was only a few years later when the Healy family wanted to do the same thing with pancake mix. Unbeknownst to most folks, that product was developed at the University of Washington Home Ec Department in about 1946, 1947. And the Krusteaz Just Add Water pancake mix was born. The name Krusteaz, which now falls under the Continental Mills brand, has been family-run ever since. CEO John Healy has seen the growth. He remembers serving pancakes from this van called the Krusteaz Courtesy Kitchen, which was essentially a mobile traveling diner.
We always want to be a privately held family business. That's who we are.
Once the pancakes caught on, they saw that they could do the same thing for many other foods like muffins, lemon bars, brownies, and so much more. Back in the day, as you can see from these pictures, it was much more labor-intensive. But today, technology plays a key role in the success of that perfect pancake. And this facility in Kent is where most of what you see in the stores is produced, tested, and packaged.
We have flour and sugar in silos outside. They store roughly 250 to 300,000 pounds of flour.
And then it's separated and processed under the careful watch of a sophisticated computer system, which detects if anything is inconsistent. It's also under the watch of Mike Pasanza, who's the safety manager and processing resource for the factory. He says a part of what makes the Krusteaz brand so good over the years is the consistency.
Batch number 1 is exactly like batch number 1,000.
Food testers on staff make sure raw ingredients to the end product is the same each and every time. And yes, the job has its perks too. After all, we are in a food factory.
They're really good, and I'm not just saying that because I work here. I love them.
This factory can churn out 700,000 pounds of product every 24 hours. But while a lot of the machines do much of the mixing, shipping, and packaging, it's the people, many of whom have been with the company for years, that makes all the difference.
We involve them in the process, so it gives them ownership, it gives them a sense of power. Our operators can shut a line down if they don't think something's right.
For the company that specializes in easy to make, the future of easy is in healthy snacks. This time, no cooking required.
We made that decision about 4 years ago strategically to get into a category that was entirely incremental to us, but also was a growing category.
Andy Healy is the president of Continental Mills and John's son. Brands like Wild Roots Trail Mix and Buck Wild Chips are what Andy says is better for you healthy snacking.
That's really good.
It is really good.
Everything from tortilla chips to dehydrated fruits and vegetables, trail mixes, everything is very kind of clean ingredient deck.
Financially, the goal for Continental Mills is to someday reach $1 billion in revenue. And the way they'll get there is the way they've always done it. Word of mouth, the strength of their workers, and this.
Provide product that our consumer can go wow and say, that is something I'm proud to put on my table.
Can you smell the pancakes through the TV, guys? Many of the workers we were introduced with, they've been with the company for decades, some 10 to 30 years, and you would think that a company as well known as Krusteaz or Continental Mills would want to go public, but that's not the case. Both John and Andy, when I spoke with them, say they want to keep this a family business, and my intention was to bring samples, but unfortunately, guys, I ate them all.
You failed.
I failed.
I'm so hungry.
You are so upset, by the way.
Because it's like I'm watching that and I'm going, oh, I love those. Oh, I love that trail mix. And I'm just so hungry right now.
And I loved every single bite of it.
Yeah,
I'm so
great. Just rub it in.
Those brownies.
All right, we're done with you now, Brian. 8:30.